Hey there, I'm Rena, owner and designer at the Rustic Horseshoe. In this real quick tutorial, I'm going to show you how easy it is to paint your own safety eyes. Let's get started. When it comes to painting your safety eyes, you have a few options. You can use nail polish, you can get glittered nail polish, solid nail polish, metallic nail polish, whatever you find that you would like. You can use just regular acrylic paint. And I've also used metallic acrylic paint, and that works as well too. So you're going to want clear safety eyes, and they're clear on the back. Of course, they have the pupil already in there, is the ones that I use anyway. So you want to decide what, and you're going to want your paint brushes. I use this I'll show you, and then dots and stuff, toothpicks, various things. So I'm going to show you a couple different designs. The first one is just going to be polka dots. When you're making your eyes, you want to put what you want to see through the eye down on your first layer. For example, I'm going to do dots on this one. And I'm going to use the back of my paintbrush for the larger dots. And then I want to add some little tiny dots in there, and that's where toothpicks come in very handy. So you can see the back of this eye, and then you can always turn it to see how it's looking from the front. And I'm going to let this dry, and we're going to come back to that one for the background color. So we're going to let that dry for a minute. So another first layer option, I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. You can put whatever designs. You can put stripes, dots, triangles. One time I even painted a gear for steampunk within the eye. So you can do all kinds of options. So this one, I'm going to paint 2 circles basically. Right now I'm just painting on the pupil, but I'm trying to kind of work my circle around. So what I'm doing here doesn't look like much there, and then when you turn around you can kind of see how it's turning out on this side. It's not going to be a perfect circle. I could have drawn a circle on there and painted within those lines, but I was just eyeballing things just to kind of show an example. It's going to need a second coat, which this doesn't take long to dry. I'm going to let that dry. Another option is to kind of do like your eye, I don't even know what it's called, but the stripies in there somewhere. And I'm going to show you how to do it with 2 colors and then the back color, and then just with 1 color. So I'm going to use kind of a fanned brush. I took scissors here to trim the brush. You can even trim it even more to make it more sparse if you want and make your brush work for you. But what I do is I just get very little bit, kind of wipe off the excess, and then I just kind of lightly go around. And that's it. You can see how that looks from the other side. So that's one, and this is going to be the first layer on the one I'm going to do 2 colors on. So I'm going to do that same thing again. And it is totally okay if it is not perfect. You can hide some of it by an eyelid, or the fact is it's just going to be fine. See how that one looks. Okay. This one's dry enough. I'm going to show you how to do a second color for the eye stripes. So same method, just kind of get the tip of the brush, but wipe off actually most of the paint. Okay, so you can see the green is now the second layer. And you can just see that green pop through here and there. It's not a real dominant color. It's just meant to be an accent. We're gonna let that dry and then we'll get back to those. I'm gonna come back to this pink one and put on another layer. Okay, so you can kind of see how it looks from the back. You can see the black from the pupil coming through. But then how it looks on the front is a little bit different. Still needs a little bit more paint. But now that I have kind of the outline of the circle, I can just dot paint in here within the circle. And just kind of clean up the edges. This one's the hardest one because I'm trying to be very neat with it. The other ones are very much easier. Okay, so I'm going to call that good for the pink one. So the dots are still drying. I will get back to those. But my stripes are dry. So now on these, I'm going to apply my back color. It looks something like that. It will need a second coat, but what you also have to remember is this is going to be pushed up against your fabric, so that fabric will make it dark on the back as well. But you can see how you can see the green kind of in the background there as an accent color, and you have the kind of golden brown up front. Now you could paint these solid color too, absolutely no problem there. And you would just do what I'm doing for the back layer, you would just do for the solid color, just paint it. Okay, so while we're waiting for this to dry, I'm going to show you what it looks like. Now the nail polish, you can use solid color, everything like that. But if you're going to use glitter, and you could paint a layer with glitter, and then back it with acrylic paint. If you want it to be solid glitter nail polish, if you want it to be solid glitter, you're going to need about 4 or 5 coats of nail polish. So that's one layer of nail polish. For glitter nail polish, your solid nail polish will be a little bit more, obviously not so see-through. And you can see it has a glitter shimmer. If you just wanted that little glitter shimmer, I would back it with whatever color acrylic paint you'd like, or solid nail polish, or add another layer of glitter and then something solid, or like I said, about 4 or 5 layers of glitter nail polish will do the trick. Okay, so it looks like I can go ahead with my dotted one. Okay, so we're going to add the back color. See how that looks? That makes a great seahorse eye or dragon eye or snake eye or anything really, whatever you want to do. The dots are fun and they're super easy to do. I would do another layer of paint on the back of this before I put it on my project, but that's essentially how it's going to look. And this is the single layer of stripes. Now you can make your stripes more sparse. They don't have to be as thick as these, or as dense, I guess is the better word, as these. So we'd add a second layer of paint to these as well. See them both together. So add another layer to those. Always have at least 2 layers of the back paint. Okay, so now let's paint our circle. We're gonna do the same thing, except for this isn't entirely dry. I'm kind of rushing it here. So I'm just gonna paint from the pupil out because the rest of it's not dry. So of course you'd go all the way to the pupil, or you can do it just like this as well, or I mean all the way to the shank. Or this works as well, because that's the black pupil part. But I'm rushing through this, so I didn't wait for that to dry entirely. So the back, then you can kind of see the front. My circle is not very great. I would probably use this part and hide that with the eyelid. But just another example of the different shapes and stuff you can do underneath it to have some fun options with the eyes, or just more color options with the eyes. So be creative, have fun, and make some great eyes.